In this first video, I'm going to be showing you how to make Mario's body. I am using saracino modelling paste, which I have coloured myself. Starting with the blue, I'm running it between my hands and getting a sort of tapered sausage shape. So it's a little bit fuller at the top, which will be his belly, and at the bottom it's a little bit thinner. So I've just cut it in half, softening out those sharp edges and just getting the general shape of his belly and legs. So I just want to define the shape a little bit more, so you can see the definition between his belly and his legs. So using the Dresden tool, I'm just making a mark and then soften it out with my little finger, and I'll do this on the back of his legs as well. So I just want to add a little bit more shape here, and so flattening the top of his dungarees and then just pinching out the top a little bit. I'm making these legs a little bit thinner, so I've taken a small amount away from the end, and then I'll just tease them out a little bit longer, make them slightly thinner. I will now add support into the legs so that Mario can stand on his own. So I'm using PME lolly sticks. I've dipped the sticks into a little bit of water first, just so that they stick nice and firmly into the paste. And then once I've placed them in, I'm just going to tidy up the bottom of the leg a little bit. I just want to shape out the legs a little bit more now, make them a little bit longer, because usually when you add supports you end up scrunching up the paste a little. To model his shoes, I've started with 2 balls of darker brown paste. I'm going to shape each one into an oval shape and taping it at the back so it's a little bit thinner at the back, but making sure it's nice and rounded at the front. I'm just going to press down at the back a little bit more, so that'll be the section that sits underneath his legs. For the sole of the shoe, I've taken the same brown, mixed it with a little bit of white just to get a lighter tone, and then I'm just creating a very similar shape but just making sure it's a lot thinner. Now that the shoes are assembled, I'm just using the Dresden tool to shape in a little bit of a heel. Using the Dresden tool lightly, I'm just adding a bit of a seam to the bottom of the trouser legs. And now I'll just place them onto the shoes. So just making sure that the lolly stick goes into the back of the shoe and straight through, and then I'll just tease the legs down to meet the shoe. So I'm just touching up the shape again now, and I would advise you to let that set before you continue with the top of the body. I've cut about a third of the red paste away to keep for the hat later, and now I'm just rolling it into a sausage, and I'll taper each side of the sausage slightly so it's a little bit thicker for the chest section and a little bit thinner for the arms. So just cutting down the length of those lolly sticks as well, ready for the paste to be pushed over the sticks. So using a little water just to help it attach, I'm just pressing the red paste over the lolly sticks, making sure it's nice and central, and then just making sure the join is nice and smooth. And I'll now just thin out those arms a little bit more. So I'm just making a couple of thin strips of blue paste now, and then they will go over the top of the shoulders to form the dungaree straps. So just to finish his main body now, I'll add 2 little balls of yellow paste as buttons. And as you can see, I've got him leaning against a saracino pot. And this is just to make sure that he's supported while I'm modelling him and that I don't damage his body at all. For the hands, I'm using 2 balls of white paste. I've modelled them into an oval shape, and I'm just going to cut out the thumbs. So just taking a little bit off the length there and then softening that thumb. And now I'll add 2 cuts to form 3 fingers. As in all cartoon characters, they have 3 fingers rather than 4. And then just softening out those fingers, making them nice and round, and then forming them into a fist shape. And then just wrapping the thumb around. I've inserted 2 small pieces of cocktail stick here, and I've used a little bit of water, and this should help keep them in place. So the last thing I want to do here is add a thin strip of paste over the top of the hands, which just gives it a really nice neat join between hand and arm. I hope you've enjoyed this video. In part 2 I'm going to show you how to make Mario's head.